best birthday ever. Seriously, guys, you are not going to believe some of the stuff that I found. I mean, holy Greetings, one and all, and welcome back to Tom's Hit Parade. By the way, I invite you to hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up if you like what you see, share this video with your friends, and leave me your thoughts down in the comment section. It would be very, very much appreciated. So, yeah, I did not mean to go almost 2 months without a video. Sorry about that. But it's just, I am still fighting this lack of motivation on the weekends. I'm not sure what's been going on, but I guess one upside to it is I will probably have the distinction of breaking a record for my own personal record for the fewest number of videos in a calendar year for 2024. So, but hopefully this video here is going to reinvigorate me, re-inspire me to get back on the regular or at least semi-regular video making bandwagon, because boy, have I got a load of stuff to share with you guys. This video is going to serve two purposes. I am going to provide a John Williams update, possibly my last John Williams update. I'll explain that in due course here. But the first half-ish of this video is, yes, I went on my third annual birthday St. Vinny's thrift store crawl. Yes, I thought this was only going to be the second year, but I looked back in my videos, and this is actually the third year in a row that I've done this. And it has been a whole lot of fun, and boy, it was perfectly timed this time. Unbelievable timing, unbelievable luck. I will get to that in a few minutes. Both of these sections of this video that I just described are going to kind of overlap, which I will explain to you in a few minutes. But let's go ahead and get started, because I've got some ground to cover, and I will probably prattle on about some of the stuff toward the end of the video. But yes, I found, what did I figure, about 20-25 CDs. Yes, last year I think I was able to actually pick up 53 CDs, because I turned 53 years old last year. But I did not quite find 54 CDs this time. Darn it. No, I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I'm still about a dozen and a half CDs deep on my listening backlog. Not nearly as bad as it used to be, but that's another story. So yes, I've added, but not too heavily added, to my listening backlog. But yes, let's go ahead and get on with the CDs. First of all, this one was a little more expensive. It was in the choice items locked cabinet, but it was still only $4.99. I wouldn't have gotten it otherwise, but we are kind of mourning his loss very recently in the last couple of weeks. Liam Payne of One Direction. This is his solo album, LP1. Yes, I know it got pretty mediocre reviews, but I decided, in light of recent events, I had to at least give it a shot. It's his one and only album. I've got all the solo albums so far by Niall Horan and Harry Styles, so I decided to give him a try. Zayn, I have not given Zayn a try, because he's a bit more into the hip-hop stuff, so at least I think he is. That's the reputation I get, or the vibe that I get from him. But I don't know. Maybe I'll try out Zayn at some point. This next one, Sam Smith, In the Lonely Hour. This is the standard original release version. Yes, I have is it Crossing Shadows or Chasing Shadows edition, the expanded edition on LP. But I decided I wanted to pick up the regular CD edition, have it in my collection. This one was also in the locked cabinet alongside the Liam Payne CD, Pearl by Janis Joplin. This was only $1.99. All the other CDs were 99 cents a piece, as they always are at the St. Vinny's stores. Yes, I picked up Big Brother and the Holding Company's Cheap Thrills recently on CD, and so I decided to pick this one up. And now the only Janis Joplin album that I have missing from her lifetime, not counting posthumous releases, is Cosmic Blues. So I will get that one very soon. This is another one, and I do have Pearl on, at least I think I have it on LP, but yeah, pick it up on CD. And it's another one that I do have on LP, but it was there, and it was absolutely spotless. Kick by NXS, an absolutely outstanding album from the 80s. If you have not checked this out, check it out. It's got the big hits of theirs: New Sensation, Need You Tonight, and the ballad Never Tear Us Apart, great song there. So yeah, check out In Excess. Got a couple of greatest hits in here. The first one, I have never checked her stuff out before. Yeah, I've got a couple of greatest hits of artists that I have not checked out before. But this one, Sarah Evans, I thought I'd give her a shot. I guess she's part country and part pop, I assume. But yes, this is the playlist series. And contrary to what is it Bryer over Bryer's Music Showcase, what he thinks of the playlist series, I actually kind of like them because they usually uh, stick in a couple of songs that were not on studio albums of the artist. So, hey, cut him a break, Bryer. Assuming you're the one that I heard talk about this, I could have the YouTuber wrong. But anyway, this next one, Patsy Cline, her this is her third album and her last album that she recorded in her lifetime. Sentimentally Yours. I've got her previous album, which had a bunch of her big hits on it as well. So yeah, that was nice to pick this one up. So yeah, it's got some good songs there. So it was very cool to have that one. Now the popra stuff, I went through a very brief popra phase. This is these opera style vocal quartets that kind of crossed over into pop stuff. I've got one album by Id Volo and their first album and a compilation with a DVD, a greatest hits compilation with a DVD. But that's about all I've got. I tried Il Divo before, and a couple of other artists, maybe, I don't know. Josh Groban, I think he's kind of, he could be considered popra. Uh, Liked him for a brief while, but he just kind of grew cold on me pretty quick. But this one I could not pass up. This is an Il Divo album. It's a tribute to Motown. And, I love Motown. And so just about any Motown covers album, I'm going to give it a shot. But yes, for once in my life, a celebration of Motown. They actually include a couple of Motown artists in here as in guest appearances. So yeah, I figured I'd give that a shot. It can be tough for these kind of groups, these opera style voices, to do pop songs because they can easily become corny, cliche, silly sounding. So hopefully that will not be the case with this one. And then I decided to get an Andrew Sisters Rarities CD. There's Rarities. And although some of these songs are pretty popular songs, so I don't think they're exactly rare, like Beat Me Daddy 8 to the Bar. And no, despite the sound of that title, it does not have to do with child abuse. It was a slang expression from back in the 40s. But I like the name of track too, Six Jerks in a Jeep. I, I don't think I've ever heard that one. It's going to be interesting to listen to it. And then another one kind of on that same sort of wavelength, easy listening pop stuff, Guy Lombardo. There were actually two different Guy Lombardo compilations at one of the St. Vinny's that have been there the last 2 or 3 times I was there. Almost picked one of them up last time I was there, but didn't. Decided to go ahead and give it a shot. Yeah. I can kind of like sometimes that cheesy, easy listening pop stuff. And then this one, I have her double disc number ones compilation, but this one I don't think has, or that one doesn't have a lot of the stuff that's on here. I don't think from what I can remember. But yes, the first best of Reba McEntire greatest hits compilation of hers. I assume this is the first of her greatest hits. So yeah, I decided to pick it up. I've come to enjoy Reba McEntire lately. Well, I've actually kind of liked her for quite a while. Her acting, her sitcoms have been, her second sitcom was not great. Her first one, Reba, was fantastic. And the new one that she's doing right now, Happy's Place, it's actually pretty good. If you have not watched it yet and you like Reba, she's her charm comes through on that as well. So, yeah, sliding a little TV recommendation in with my music stuff. Then we have, I'm not sure why I bought this one because I have all of the albums that this one culls songs from, but this is Sean Colvin's greatest hits, Polaroids, a greatest hits collection. So yeah, and I mean this does have one new song, I think. So yeah, not sure why I picked it up. Maybe it's just because I have kind of have a feeling that I might want to downsize in that particular section of my CD collection. Who knows? And also on the subject of Sean Colvin, I actually picked up 2 of her CDs. This second one is a holiday collection. So, yep, we're coming up on the holiday season. Thanksgiving's just a couple of weeks away. And right after Thanksgiving is when I break out the holiday albums to listen to them. Because just about 1 month of holiday music is about all I can take. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, figured that would be an interesting thing to listen to. And another holiday collection I got, this one is by the band Pink Martini. It is called Joy to the World. And judging from the track listing, they, as with most of their albums, they just throw in a slew of influences, different ethnic music. What am I trying to say? Ethnic moods and stuff, influences. There's, let's see, track 5, Elohai Nzor. I think that's how you pronounce it. I can only assume that it sounds African, so I'm kind of assuming maybe it's a Kwanzaa song. But yeah, yes, Pink Martini's albums, they're a very interesting group, hard to pin down. If you like artists that kind of stretch out into various different genres, various different world music influences, give Pink Martini a shot. They're very interesting, fun to listen to. And you almost never know what you're going to get from one album to the next. And to top that all off, they are a regional group. They are from Portland. They call Portland home. So, yay, Oregon. And now we're getting into the jazz section here. A couple of artists that I have not tried out before, at least I don't think so, in the case of the second one here. But the first one, yes, I have never tried him out. Mark Whitfield, the Marksman. This is his debut album. It just looked interesting. The cover art and stuff. I had to look him up on my phone to see what genre he practices in. So, but yeah, I figured I'd give him a shot. Why not? Rhyme unintended. Then we have Ramsey Lewis, and I might have in one of my last 2 or 3 St. Vinny's crawls haul videos. It might have been Ramsey Lewis that I had picked up an album from. I can't remember, and I ended up not enjoying it. It might have been a different artist. I can't remember, but I saw this collection here and thought I'd give it a shot. And I believe he's jazz. He might be jazz blues. I'm not sure, but so yeah, decided I would give him a try. And then an artist that I don't think I have any of his albums, but I have albums that he has appeared on over the years. He was a member of the GRP label family, a jazz label that was home to one of my favorite contemporary or smooth jazz groups, the Rippingtons, for a long, long time. Joe Sample, this is a collection of his, greatest hits collection, so give him a shot. And I'm actually not sure what instrument he plays. Yeah, okay, doesn't say on the back, but yeah, always curious to give a sampler or a hits out collection a try. And then this other one, I've got 3 or 4, or maybe just 2 of his CDs, and I saw this greatest hits collection of his there. Rather enjoy him. Otmar Liebert, pick him up. Collection, and I may be able to, with this, I might be able to actually downsize and get rid of a couple of individual albums of his. And this next one, let me take a drink first. Sorry, excuse me. This next guy, speaking of labels, jazz labels and whatnot, this guy was on a label called Narada that I was a big fan of way back in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. When I first got into music, the first genre I got into was instrumentals, or one of the first genres. And one of my favorite labels back then was Narada. And thanks to a couple of big, huge CD binders that I got a couple of years ago, there were a bunch of old Narada CDs in there, and I kind of got back into the label and the genre. And it's kind of become a thing now where whenever I see one of those classic old Narada CDs on the racks at the thrift stores, I end up picking it up. And this is one of those. It's an artist named Bernardo Rubaja, and this is his album New Land. And there are a couple of, I got several Narada samplers and collections, and his tracks routinely appeared on those collections. But yeah, very nice, relaxing music to relax to. And speaking of Narada, while we're on the subject of Narada, I've got, as I just mentioned, I've got several collections and samplers, and I saw this one here, and I'd never seen this one before. This is The Nature of Narada. It's a 2-disc sampler inspired by nature, as it says on the cover. So yeah, I've decided to add that one to my collection and give it a listen. I'm sure it will be very, very enjoyable. Nice stuff to chill to in that. And now we're getting into the soundtracks. And actually, let me show this one first. It's not explicitly a soundtrack, but I've got several. Well, let me show you this one here. Hollywood's Greatest Hits by the Cincinnati Pops Orchestra, conducted by Eric Kunzel. I've got 7 or 8 Cincinnati Pops Kunzel albums, but all the other ones that I have are sci-fi, fantasy, action, adventure genres, movie theme collections. And this is the first one that I've gotten that is not specifically that genre. It's just stuff from the golden age of Hollywood cinema. You can see a lot of stuff, classic stuff on here by Max Steiner, Miklos Roja, Korngold. I'm sure Korngold is on here. And some not so old-timey stuff like Rocky and Jaws. Got to have some John Williams. If it's Hollywood's Greatest Hits, it's got to have some John Williams on it, period. But anyway, I thought I would pick that up. I aside from the Boston Pops Orchestra, conducted by John Williams, the Cincinnati Pops, conducted by Kunzel, is probably my second favorite Pops orchestra in terms of album releases. And now we're getting into the actual soundtracks. For these first 2 are song collections, and this one, I picked up the original version of this in one of my last 2 or 3 St. Vinny's hauls, and I didn't realize there was a remastered and expanded version of it out. Fame, from the 1980 film, I think. So yeah, it's got like 3 bonus tracks on it, so I figured I'd go ahead and pick that up and recycle, or either trade in or give back to St. Vinny's the original version. So, yeah. And oddly enough, I picked up the CD. I've never seen the movie. Maybe I need to see the movie. But this is a movie that I have seen, and I'd kind of been on the lookout for this CD for a long time. I used to have it way back when. Don't know why I got rid of it, which is a recurring theme for me if you are new to this channel. Holes, a Disney movie from the late 2003. Very cute movie, very nice, fun movie to watch. And the soundtrack was pretty darn good also. It's got a bunch of various artists on here. Shaggy, Moby, Cab Mo. Yes, I actually had gotten rid of the CD before I became a Cab Mo fan. So another reason. Let's see, and Eagle Eye Cherry, Fiction Plane, Dr. John, North Mississippi All Stars. So yeah, a lot of kind of swampy, bluesy type stuff on here. Kind of sort of fits in with the mood of the movie. If you have not seen Holes, I recommend it. Yeah, you got to watch it. Fun movie. Then we're getting into soundtrack, the actual film scores. And now that I have essentially completely finished my collection, spoiler alert, this is coming up, of John Williams soundtracks, apparently I have started to work on a collection of probably my second favorite composer, James Horner. And so we have Braveheart, the classic Mel Gibson movie. And oh yeah, by the way, the movie is going to be available on video cassette starting in the spring of 1996. So keep an eye out for it. Anyway, it's always fun to see those little relics from the past there. But yes, Braveheart, which I have not seen, nor have I seen The Missing, a Ron Howard movie. And oh, that's Tommy Lee Jones on the front, isn't it? It is. I like Tommy Lee Jones. Maybe I need to see that movie. But yeah, I have no idea what it's about. So. But yeah, had to pick it up. And even if it's a movie that I didn't really care much about, if I see it for 99 cents in a thrift store, and I can add it to a collection of a particular composer, why not pick it up, even if I haven't seen the movie? But this is another movie I have seen, Deep Impact. It was a very, very good movie. I enjoyed it back in the day. Another James Horner. Yes, all three of these are James Horner scores. So yes, found a pretty good little collection of CDs there at the thrift stores. But now we're getting into, I'm going to take a little drink here again real quick. You are going to love this. I still cannot believe the timing of this. I was there at the first thrift store I went to, going through the CDs, and I'm not sure what led up to the to her bringing the subject up, but there was another guy that was standing next to me, and she was asking. She had actually was putting out newly arrived CDs in there, and apparently they do that on Monday mornings, I guess. So she put out the CDs, and a few minutes later, I heard her ask, I've got a bunch of records in the back of soundtracks, science fiction stuff like Star Wars and Star Trek. Would you guys be interested in seeing them? And I literally, kind of took a couple steps forward and I went, yes, please. And the other guy was apparently a fan of soundtracks as well. So a few minutes later, she brings out this little cart with must have been a couple of dozen altogether LPs. These things are in amazingly good condition, fantastic condition. The vinyl, the records look like they were played once or twice and taken really good care of. Shiny, spotless, as far as I can tell. And the jackets are pretty much right up there too. So yeah, he and I went through them, and I tried not to be too greedy because there was a lots of good stuff here. Wait till you see these. But yeah, the whole rest of the day, I was waiting to wake up from the dream that I was having, just that this was just too good to be true. I mean, think about the timing of this. I was there at that particular hour on that particular day of the week. I could have been there any other day, any other hour, and I would have missed out on these. So it was meant to be, truly. But enough of the story. Let me show you what I picked up. Witness by Maurice Jarre, one of my favorite scores and one of my favorite movies from the 80s. Yeah, it's a great Harrison Ford film. If you have not seen it yet, I highly recommend it. It's a great movie. But yes, I was happy to say this. I've got this on CD, but it's always, it's kind of like if I'm going to pick up, if I got the chance to get it on vinyl, I might as well. Here's another favorite sci-fi film of mine, Time After Time, Miklos Rozsa, one of his final scores, I think, from 1979. I think was when this movie was put out. It's another one that I recommend. It's about kind of like a what if the time machine that H.G. Wells wrote about he had actually built, and what if one of his friends was Jack the Ripper and he was able to escape into modern day, which in this case was late 70s San Francisco. So very interesting, very interesting movie and gripping movie. Malcolm McDowell and David Warner, one of my favorite villainous actors. David Warner, fantastic. But yeah, and a great score too. So, and then we have Battlestar Galactica. This one only cost me $5. Yes, the prices on these were a little, they were not quite thrift store prices, but I would have paid to buy all this stuff at a record store. I would have paid at least twice as much. But yes, Battlestar Galactica by Stu Phillips, from the original movie, pilot movie, which I think was actually in the theaters before it begat the television series. But yeah. And then we have one that I used to have a long time ago, Superman 2, by Ken Thorne, based on material by John Williams. So it's not exactly a John Williams score, but and here's the cool thing about this. I used to have this LP when I was a kid, got rid of it before I really got back into vinyl. Obviously, if I'd known I was going to get back into vinyl, I would have kept it. Here's the cool thing about this record. I hope you guys can actually see. Take it out of its thing. See, yeah, see, you can see the S shield is etched into the vinyl on both sides. Isn't that cool? And yes, this was done in like 1980 and does not interfere with the sound at all. So yes, was one of the first examples of creative decoration of vinyl. Oh, you are witnessing a live discovery right here. The hype sticker, original hype sticker from the record. Yeah, these all these records, the ones that came with posters still had their posters in them, almost all of them. The one thing that was a disappointment was Close Encounters of the Third Kind was in the stack. Unfortunately, it did not have the 7-inch single of the, you know, disco version of the theme in there. So that was something that was originally packaged with the record, but that one did not have it. But here we go into the actual John Williams portion of this. Yes, I was able to add to my John Williams collection with these records, and some of these I'd been looking for literally for years. Are you ready? Return of the Jedi. Look at how clean the jacket is. It's like it was not played, or barely taken out of its sleeve. And there you go. There's a gatefold, and yeah. Did this one come with a poster? Yes, it did. Or at least an insert. Can you believe it? I still can't. But yes, I don't want to try not to make this video too long, but I also want to savor in the gloriousness of what I found. I'm not done yet. Raiders of the Lost Ark. This one has been on my list for years. And again, look at how crisp and clean the edges of no seam splits, no nothing. And the vinyl is just almost in perfect condition. Oh, another hype sticker, or is it just the just the cellophane with the original price tag? $8.89. Wow, what a bargain. Actually, if all it's got is the price sticker, I'm not going to keep it. But not done yet, though. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Same thing. Great gatefold. Amazing. And yes, I've got all these on CD, but to have the vinyl is just an extra. And again, here we go. I'm just wondering what the story with this is. Was it a gentleman who recently was deceased, and his heirs didn't know what to do with the maybe it was his wife didn't know what to do with these records, and maybe wasn't able to take the time to take them to a record store and to get money for them, so they just decided to donate them. I don't know, but perhaps the coup de grace, my favorite Indiana Jones movie, I now have the score on vinyl. Can you believe it? Yes. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. It still feels like a dream. Yes, and we have an ad for the Lucasfilm fan club. I wonder if I can get on and order any of these doodads. Probably not. But yeah, it's just so cool. I mean, I am just still kind of in disbelief that this happened. That I had such perfect timing, was able to get these, and here we have the receipt. Linda, I cannot read the name. I won't show the front of this. Well, I'll cover up the address. Just probably doesn't live there anymore, but just in case. The special order form for the Musicland group. This is cool. I'm going to keep this just as a souvenir. Wow. Huh. So they had to special order this. That's how much they loved their Indiana Jones soundtracks and John Williams. my kind of person. So anyway, can you believe that haul from the record stores? For these records, I paid just south of $100. Pricey, yes, but fair. I mean, I would have paid for these 8 records. I probably would have paid over $200 at a record store in as good a condition as they are. So I am totally happy. It was well worth the money. But I've got a few more things to show you as part of my John Williams collection. Another drink, excuse me. And I was hinting at the beginning of this video that this could be my last John Williams update, probably because, and especially now that I got these records, there is very little left that I even halfway really want in my collection. Not that I don't want them in my collection. If they happen to present themselves and at a decent price, I'll buy them. But everything that I could ever really want in my collection, I now have. First of all, here's this John Williams Reimagined. I talked about this back during my John Williams week. It had just been announced. As soon as it came up for pre-order, I pre-ordered it on Amazon, and I waited, and I waited. Amazon pushed back the release date like 4 times, so it kept getting delayed and was saying, what the hell's going on? So, the last delay said it was not going to be released until November 15th or something like that. So finally, I went online, did a little looking around, and apparently people in the UK and Europe and Canada, I think also, have had theirs for months. So apparently it had been released way back in, I think it was August, overseas, but not in the States. So I very promptly canceled my Amazon.com order and went on Amazon UK and ordered it there, and I got it a week later. So I don't know why the American release has been delayed or perhaps even canceled at this point. I don't know, because major record labels can be stupid sometimes. But yeah, one interesting. Oh, and the arrangements on this album are really interesting. They're fun. It's flute, cello, and piano. So just a trio of musicians. So you can imagine that the selections, the choices of themes that they picked to perform are going to be a little unusual, because obviously you've got to have stuff that can be reworked into a trio arrangement and that will still sound good. I mean, you try and turn the Raiders March, the Indiana Jones theme, into a flute, cello, piano thing, it's going to sound dorky. So, but a very interesting, and that's part of what makes the set enjoyable, is that the selections are kind of off the beaten path, lesser known themes of John Williams. And another really interesting thing about this is both of the CDs are a little over 80 minutes long. And I didn't realize that was possible. I thought that 80 minutes was the absolute ceiling for CD runtime. So yeah, but I went online and looked, and they can squeeze a few more minutes into a CD. So yeah, let's see, 80 is 160, over 2.5 hours of music on that. So well worth the money. I mean, I paid, I think, postage paid from Amazon UK, it was like $26. So I wouldn't have paid much less getting it domestically. If it ever gets released domestically, Warner's, I'm talking to you. Anyway, and I decided to, yes. This one I actually found at a pretty good, decent discount a few weeks ago, about a month ago. Penelope, one of John Williams' movies from the '60s. I think they got this for like $20. Normally, it's quite a bit more than that, and it's got a second CD on it, the Henry Mancini score to Bachelor in Paradise. But yes, of course, the John Williams score for Penelope was the one I was kind of after. And these last two, yes, the video is almost over. These last two, yes, my birthday is earlier this week, but I saw these a couple months ago from one of Lucas Kendall's FSM CDs sales. I had to jump on them because the prices of these were much less than you would find them on eBay and whatnot. So I decided that was going to be my early birthday present. The last two scores that I really wanted to consider my John Williams collection complete even though it's technically not complete. Here we have a twofer, 2 of his scores on one release. We have How to Steal a Million, along with Bachelor Flat, 2 of his the comedy scores of movies that he did in the 60s. So yeah, it was nice to pick that one up. I'm very happy to have that one. And also the original score recording of Midway, the 1970s war movie, of course. Yes, Varese Sarabande released a re-recording by, I think it was Joel McNeely and the Royal Scottish National Orchestra, and that had been available for years, but finally in, I think it was 2011, Varese finally released the original score recording for Midway, so pick that one up. So yes, that is my St. Vinny's haul, as well as the most recent and possibly last update for my John Williams collection. I can't remember the last time I had such a fantastic birthday with, being able to order those John Williams CDs early, and then to get this vinyl haul. I mean, I'm still, like I said, I still feel like this was a dream that I'm still about to wake up from. But anyway, that'll do it for this video. Be sure to like it if you liked it. Before you go, drop me some feedback in the comments section. I'd love to know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon to catch my future videos, and hit my username to browse my old videos. Links to my socials and my favorite fellow YouTubers are in the description below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and remember, life's too short to be a music snob.